Me and Roger, we two alphas, and we talk. I can't talk to him face to face because I'm mad at him. We might get to fight. Like, you guys don't understand. And, you know, because I'm being in his face yelling at him and shit. And he think he a man. He think he grown. He gonna be yelling at me. He gonna try to back up his thoughts and stuff like that. You know, and I can't. I don't want to go and say. I don't want to go and say everything because it's going to. I don't want to go and say everything. But Roger, he do not like people with him. He dishonored my name, and
But he's still your son.
No, listen. I know he's my fucking son. I'm not cutting him off for forever. I just haven't talked to him.
And when he gets in the ring and he fucks him up, you can't about it. He fucked him up because he signed a contract to do that.
It was one of the worst things that I've seen on the internet. You've got this guy. It looks like he was asked into this wrestling sphere. He gets hit in the head with a can. You can't just pummel someone unconscious.
Rampage. Jackson revealed he's furious with his son Raja after last week's violent incident in the ring, admitting he feels the family name has been dishonored. He said he hasn't spoken to Raja yet, choosing distance in the immediate aftermath. Ariel Helwani questioned that decision, arguing a father should still offer support even when a child makes a terrible mistake. Rampage clarified he isn't disowning Raja permanently, but needed space before addressing the situation directly.
At all worried about his well-being?
Yeah, it's my son. I am worried about his well-being. How many kids you got?
I got 3.
All right, so why you asking me some stupid ass shit?
Well, can I be real with you?
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it would feel like to see my son do that. I also don't think I would cut my son off if he did that. So if you are worried about his well-being, why are you not talking to him?
Because he dishonored my name. And
but he's still your son.
No, listen. I know he's my fucking son. I'm not cutting him off for forever. I just haven't talked to him.
Ariel Helwani urged Rampage Jackson to support his son during this low point, but Rampage explained he can't stay in contact immediately because Raja lies and endangers others. He clarified he isn't cutting ties permanently, but needs distance while dealing with lawyers and the fallout. Rampage admitted he's heartbroken and unsure how a parent should react when their child puts someone in the hospital.
He needs you now more than ever.
Now, listen, I talked to him after the shit happened, and he hid the fact that he did this shit, and you know he put my other kids at danger. I just can't talk to him right now. I just can't. I'm not saying I'm never going to talk to him again. I just can't talk to him right now. I need some time. I'm dealing with his attorneys and all this shit, but I'm very disappointed in Roger. Like, yeah, I'm not a perfect parent, so I don't know what's the protocol to how much time you stop from talking to your son when he fucking goes out there and hurt somebody. He put a guy in a
Mike Millick says Roger Jackson will likely face jail, calling the attack inexcusable. He stressed that continuing to hit an already unconscious opponent shows a complete lack of control, and, if not prosecuted, it would be a failure of the system.
Going to press charges against him?
I think they should. It was one of the worst things that I've seen on the internet. You've got this guy. It looks like he was asked into this wrestling sphere. He gets hit in the head with a can. You can't just pummel someone unconscious and then not stop. This was an hour after the fact. Even if he got in the ring and knocked the dude out and the dude was unconscious and they walked away, different story. There's no way to excuse that. If the state doesn't prosecute that, that's
Mike Perry defends Roger Jackson, saying pro wrestling is staged, but injuries are real. He notes Raja wasn't a pro, yet the performance looked violent and believable, blurring the line between show and real harm.
You can't about it. He fucked him up because he signed a contract to do that.
The whole Raja Jackson, Rampage Jackson, Psycho Stu situation. What do you think?
Yeah, I've been sending my thoughts to Rampage, about that. And from a professional standpoint, someone who kind of understands a little bit about the WWE type pro wrestling, while it may be a fake thing sometimes, a lot of the pain and brutality and horrific injuries go with that sport hand in hand. So bringing Raja in, who is not a professional wrestler, having him sign papers saying he can go into the ring and do this act, and to make it look violent and as real as possible, and he definitely did that. They continue to play along, tap the guy out while he is unconscious, continued the show.
Perry said Rampage believes any discipline Raja faces is meant to make him stronger. He admitted his view might be criticized, but argued that wrestling has always involved extreme, dangerous elements, and what happened with Raja fits that chaotic world, even if it went too far.
Opinion, and Rampage has said it too. He's like, whatever discipline needs to be done for his son, hope he comes out better on the other side of it, whatever that might be. Yeah, people are gonna crucify me for saying this, but it's like, that's pro wrestling, dude. Like, those guys do some horrific stuff to each other. Razor blades cutting each other, all type of crazy things.
Mike Perry said the follow-up shots looked wrong, turning a misunderstanding into something criminal, and Raja deserved punishment. Still, he believes Raja needs guidance. Perry also questioned why Raja waited until a wrestling show to react, making it seem more like a viral stunt than self-defense.
The follow-up shot specifically, because look, I'll put it
I
like
thought
this.
they were spastic. I thought that a lot of it was for entertainment, but a lot of it was for Raja trying to prove a
Just
point.
get his licks, bro. Like,
Get his
I
licks,
saw that
yeah.
he hit him so many times after. I'm like, now this has gone from a misunderstanding or possibly outlashing to
that's
this
horrible.
this is a crime of some
He
sort.
should have a punishment.
I don't really
But
know.
I think he needs guidance.
It's a horrible situation, man.
But Stu's awake. What's his thoughts on that? Why didn't Raja do anything when the first beer thing happened? That was assault.
I don't
It
understand.
was out of the show. That was assault. He should have just done it to him then, and then it would have been self-defense. But in a professional ring, at a professional show, a lower class professional show, he's a professional streamer, and they want views, they want clickbait. And he accomplished the mission of having the most viral thing to be talked about.
May Jackson isn't surprised Roger Jackson hasn't been arrested, saying the police are likely investigating further. He notes similar wrestling incidents have happened before, but this one spreads faster because it's live streamed. Rampage adds that social media clips make it go viral and attract much more attention.
Hasn't been arrested?
No, honestly, I'm not surprised that Roger hasn't been arrested. Like, I feel like the police are doing like a deep investigation, because this is not the first time that something like this has happened in pro wrestling. It's not. It is just a high profile case, I feel like, because it was live streamed on a different, it went different than so let me explain something to you with live streaming. Live streaming, you have people watching your streams just to clip your stuff to post it on their social medias to go viral, right? So this shit went more viral than if somebody regular was just filming that there with their phone. Like, it's already a community tapped in watching these live streams, so stuff can go viral. And people never.
Rampage Jackson said Raja blindsided a wrestler in the ring, and while some was part of the act, Roger went too far compared to typical small wrestling shows. He stressed attackers should face consequences, but argued it's unfair to label Raja an animal, as anyone can lose control when provoked.
Roger snuck into a wrestling ring and came up behind a pro wrestler and beat the fuck out of him. When that part was staged, the part that didn't look staged, it didn't seem staged, that Roger took it too far. But that happens in pro wrestling at the lower levels and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You guys gotta do your research. Like, it was certain pro wrestlers that did that. They hurt people on purpose. They just did that. And there's hardcore pro wrestling. It's different shit. But Roger know nothing like that. I'm not taking it up for my son. Any man that beats somebody like that in the ring, they should face some consequences. But I don't take kindly to people calling my son like a caged animal and say he don't got no undeveloped frontal lobe and stuff like that. I don't take that kindly, because anybody in a race can explode when they're pushed.
Anybody Chan isn't surprised Roger Jackson hasn't been arrested, noting, authorities must confirm the attack wasn't part of the performance. While wrestlers normally promise strikes and slams, Roger seemed to go beyond the act, turning entertainment into potential criminal behavior.
Are you surprised nothing has happened to him? Are you surprised there haven't been any arrests, any charges, anything like that?
No, they can't and they won't make an arrest until Psycho Stu says that wasn't planned. Everybody on the card that night said before the match they're going to beat the hell out of their opponent. Everybody on the card that night, winners and losers, hit their opponent. Everyone on the card that night picked their opponent up, threw him to the ground. The difference was they were performing. What was in their heart was different. It appeared that Raja stopped performing and started to try to injure a man. And that is the difference between the show and a crime. But when I say that's what it appears, only Stu gets to say. The rest of us are marks. Only Psycho Stu gets to say that. And yet
Chael suspects Psycho Stu may prolong the situation, but notes police won't arrest. Based only on video. He explains pro wrestling blurs reality, making footage unreliable, and says the only perspective that matters is Psycho's, who hasn't spoken yet.
he might drag this on, but they're not going to go just arrest him because they have a video of a pro wrestling match, and the audience doesn't get to decide what's real and what's not. The audience job is to be entertained and constantly fooled. So they don't actually get to say how bad this was. Only one person does, and that's Stu.
Chael Sonnen addressed backlash over his comments on the Raja Jackson incident, denying he was defending Raja. He clarified his view was strictly legal, emphasizing the assault was criminal and could even be attempted murder if premeditated.
Were very upset, and they were upset that I would be so disgusting as to defend Raja Jackson and to make an argument that what Raja did was okay. The problem was, I don't think any of those things, and I didn't say anything remotely close to that. I tackled this from the same perspective both times, which is the legal perspective. You have this crime. You have a clear assault that might even be attempted murder if you believe it to be premeditated. The authorities are in possession of what you've already deemed is disgusting, horrifying, and criminal, but they haven't taken action. And I explained in both videos why they hadn't taken action. I never even touched on Raja, why he did it, Psycho Stu, what happened to
Chael Sonnen compared the situation to calling police from a payphone. Arrests don't always happen immediately. He noted authorities have video but can't act until an investigation is confirmed. And in pro wrestling, charges only proceed if Psycho Stu presses them. Sonnen stressed he wasn't defending Raja Jackson, just explaining the legal process.
11 to a payphone and dime you out. I make a call and I say that I saw you doing that to somebody, you would have been placed in handcuffs. They're a step further in this jurisdiction. They have the tape. They've seen it with their own eyes. They have not even commented that they are investigating it. The whole thing is pro wrestling unless Psycho Stu asks them to take charges. And that is the part that I find interesting. It's all that I ever said. And all the heat came back as though that was a defense of Raja, but it doesn't even include Raja's name for that.
Rampage Jackson criticized Psycho Stu for not taking responsibility in the Raja Jackson incident, saying it wouldn't have escalated if Psycho hadn't struck Raja on the back of the head with a can.
My son did not sneak up on him, and I never heard him say that. So now I'm upset. Now I'm upset with Psycho Stu because he didn't come out and say, oh, whoa, yeah, what Raja did was fucked up, but he didn't sneak in the ring and do this. The shit was staged. That's all he had to say to get some of these racist ass motherfuckers out of my DMs. He's seeing all this shit, how it fucking blew up and stuff like that. He should at least said something.
Okay.
Take some accountability. Like, honestly, everybody was wrong. Raja was the most wrong. Everybody was wrong, but none of this shit ever would have happened if Psycho Stu never hit my son on the back of the head with a fucking can that they was drinking beer out of, and then grabbed him by the fucking neck, asked him to fucking sell it. If that shit never happened, none of this shit never.
Ariel Helwani called the Raja Jackson incident a storm of stupidity, describing Raja Jackson's actions as insane, and insisting he should face consequences, though no arrests have been made yet.
Shitstorm of stupidity. I mean, just even calling it a shitstorm of stupidity is being kind. And it starts with Raja himself. What he did and the way he acted was absolutely insane. He deserves anything that is going to come his way, and as of now, it's nothing. As of now, he hasn't been charged, he hasn't been arrested, he hasn't been anything. And I don't know if he's going to be, and far be it for me to sit here and be like, that was first degree this. And I've seen people weigh in on like what it is. I'm no fucking lawyer, I'm no fucking officer. What I know is that it was absolutely stupid.
Ariel Helwani criticized the promotion for not clarifying the match was scripted, saying Raja Jackson spent hours reading online comments daring him on, which fueled his reckless behavior. He called the whole situation dumb.
The guy who was going into the ring that, hey, this is a work. This is scripted. You're not actually supposed to try to kill the guy. They failed to do that. What they did was they let him sit there for 2 hours or an hour and read comments from God knows who, 12-year-olds saying, are you really gonna do it? You don't have the balls to do it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. Watch me do it. Oh, I'm gonna do it until they pull me off of him. I'm gonna kill this guy. Dumb. Dumb, 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 dumb. GC,
Greg Doucette said Roger Jackson may have ruined his career and could face prison, explaining the outburst stemmed from constant teasing and pressure. He noted Raja grew up in Rampage's shadow, even mocked by his father, making the incident feel like a ticking time bomb.
Raja most likely has ended his career, will end up in prison for God knows how long. And so, in my opinion, this is an example of exactly what happens when kids, they lash out. And by kids, I mean adults who are only 25 years of age. Perhaps he's 26, I forget. When you keep on poking the bear, you keep on teasing someone, you keep on belittling them, putting them down, making them feel less than other people. Eventually, you can't handle it and you don't give two Turks about anything. And so, in my opinion, this was a ticking time bomb. Imagine, you're this kid. You have to live up to your dad's reputation. And all he does is make fun of you, puts you down, calls you a bitch, pussy. Eventually, what do you think you're going to do when the wrong...
Greg Doucette explained the situation spiraled out of control, noting Roger had been streaming and ignored warnings, planning to keep hitting Psycho Stu. During the match, Roger violently slammed Psycho instead of following the performance, causing a dangerous knockout.